100 volunteers to pull all of these invasive species out. It looks like there's 2 ways to go. This is up.
I need to go back up.
And then down.
Yeah, and then just build it down.
What do you want to do? Do you want to go up and back that way?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
I think it would probably take over 2,000 hours of 100 volunteers working in this park to pull out all of that ivy. But what do you think would be growing here if we didn't have ivy everywhere, you guys? Do you know any of the native plants that might be here? That's good. All right, let's take a moment here. Do you guys have any guesses? If there was no ivy growing, what other kind of plants would be growing here?
Maybe some kind of a hole for her to live in, like a birdhouse.
Well, pretty much any plant that grows naturally, like you mentioned, Justin, the cedar trees, you would have probably more space for cedar trees to grow. You might have, what are those things we see everywhere? Let's take a look. I will show you. Oh, here's another.
There's another one.
A Renfrew Ravine. What color are your beautiful leaves? Are they purple? Are they yellow? Are they blue or green? My leaves are green, but don't be so mean. So this is a poem. This is a poem that they put in here.
Yeah.
And this is, remember, the students from Emily Carr.
Yeah.
Let's just hold up. Yep.
Emily just put in the chat that ivy grows along apartment buildings with sharp thorns as well.
Oh. Yeah?
Spurs me.
Huh. Well, ivy doesn't have thorns. So it might be growing around something that has thorns, maybe like a rose bush.
Could be, but this is what Emily wrote. So.
Oh, thank you, Emily. So I'm looking right now at something. If there was not a lot of ivy, there would be more of these plants. Does anybody have a guess? What kind of plant is this?
There's
Yeah, take a look at this one over here.
Some kind of shape like an umbrella or something?
Yeah, well, one single leaf is kind of shaped like a sword because it's very pointy at the end.
Sword plant.
It's a sword fern. Yeah. Do you remember the ferns? We look on the other side of the fern. You can see there are some little tiny seeds. They look kind of orange dots. Those are the seeds of the sword fern, and they're starting to come out now, and it's almost spring. So if we didn't have the ivy, we'd have other plants that live here naturally that would come back. So like the salmonberry bushes, those are native plants that would be growing more here if we didn't have so much ivy covering everything. Yeah, what's up?
Brody has his hand up. I think he's got a question for you.
Okay, Brody, go ahead.
Well, the thing about ivy is when I'm at camp, like you're talking about ivy, I saw the same ivy when I was at camp. And I guess I wanted to do, I guess that poison ivy, I guess what do I want to say?
Look at this.
I guess it's probably new to see ivy on your trails because it's second to see ivy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
We're just
I don't know.
Was there a question? Was there a question in there, Brody, or were you just telling us a story?
No, there's just a question about the ivy.
Oh, like what kind of ivy it is?
Yeah.
Well, the English ivy is not poisonous, but there's a different kind of ivy that makes you really itchy, and they call it poison ivy. And sometimes at summer camps in the woods, you might find poison ivy and get a rash, but that's a different kind of ivy.
Yeah.
And we wanted to just show your attention over here. There's another one of these. It says the Renfrew Ravine that I've seen. There's flowers and trees and lots of bees. That's
Lots
cool.
of bees.
Yeah, so when do the bees come back, you guys?
Yep.
It's almost spring, right?
Yep.
So we could have some bees coming back in the spring. Huh. Yeah, so now we're really high up. I can see the tops of the trees that are growing down in the ravine. So we're about like 60 or 70 feet now up the ravine, walking around the edge of it. And I can see we're almost around to the very end of the ravine now. We're gonna be coming out again, looks like to another neighborhood. We appreciate your comments and everything, you guys. Does anybody have a question for Raymond at all?
And more over there.
And another one.
Another one here.
Renfrew Ravine. Grass, flowers, trees, stream, birds, cedar trees, smell, oxygen, air, a dream, a bug, a birdhouse, insects, very old trees, butterflies, house like spring, like summer too. So these are some students putting these poems in the park to make us think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder what this ravine looks like in the summertime.
Yeah.
I bet this looks very different.
Yeah.
All these trees would have leaves on them. Okay, so it looks like there's some people who have been taking out some of the invasive species here. Do you see this, guys?
Yeah.
Somebody's been working hard to take out some of the Himalayan blackberries, and it's all piled up here. So that's what it looks like when you take out the vines and you're trying to take them out of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, they cut them down and put them in that pile.
Yeah.
So that's good work they're doing.
Yeah.
It's hard work though, because those are very prickly.
Yeah.
Kaya, Emily has a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's an old tree house here. Look at that. A really old tree house, you guys. It looks like it's just like a tree with a platform on the top.
Yeah.
What's your question, Emily?
What's the question?
There's a question from Emily.
Yep. And what is it?
It is 146.
Okay. It's 146. So what's the question?
Emily, do you want to unmute and ask your question?
Or if it's a personal question, you can always ask me later.